Think of the most powerful rulers in history. Who comes to mind? Alexander the Great, Genghis Khan, Julius Caesar? Notice a pattern? History books are filled with powerful kings and emperors. But what about the queens? I'm not talking about queens who were simply the wives of kings. I'm talking about women who ruled in their own right, who commanded armies, built empires, and shaped the course of history with more power and influence than any king of their time. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on 7 incredible queens that history, for some reason, conveniently forgot to tell you about. Let's start our journey in ancient Kush, a powerful kingdom in what is now Sudan. Meet Amanirenas. In the 1st century BC, the mighty Roman Empire was expanding its reach, conquering everyone in its path. When they set their sights on Kush, they probably expected an easy victory. They didn't count on Queen Amanirenas. She wasn't just a queen. She was a Kandake, a warrior queen. When the Romans invaded and sacked her capital, she didn't surrender. Instead, she personally led her army in a fierce counterattack, pushing the Romans back and even raiding Roman-controlled Egypt. Stories say she captured a bronze head of Emperor Augustus, brought it back to her capital, and buried it under the steps of a temple so her people could forever walk over the head of their enemy. For 3 long years, she fought the most powerful empire in the world to a standstill. In the end, Rome, the superpower of the ancient world, was forced to sign a peace treaty with her, granting her kingdom favorable terms and pulling back their borders. Amanirenas proved that even the might of Rome could be challenged by a determined queen. Now let's fast forward to the 16th century and travel to what is now Angola. Here we find Queen Zingambandi of the Ndongo and Matamba kingdoms. Zinga lived in a time of brutal colonial expansion by the Portuguese, who were heavily involved in the slave trade. When her brother, the king, failed to stop the Portuguese encroachment, Zinga stepped up. She was a master diplomat and a brilliant military strategist. In a famous meeting with the Portuguese governor, he tried to belittle her by not offering her a chair, forcing her to stand. Unfazed, Zinga ordered one of her servants to get on all fours to become her human seat, showing she was his equal. For decades, she led a powerful resistance against the Portuguese, forming strategic alliances with other African states, and even the Dutch. She learned to fight like her enemies, adopting their tactics and turning them against them. Zinga ruled for over 40 years, becoming a symbol of resistance and a powerful monarch who fiercely defended her people and her land from colonial invaders. From Africa, we cross the sea to the Indonesian archipelago and meet a queen who commanded the seas. Say hello to Kumalahati, or just Malahayati, of the Aceh Sultanate in the 16th century. After her husband was killed in battle against the Portuguese, Malahayati didn't just mourn. She sought justice. She petitioned the Sultan to form her own navy, made up entirely of the widows of fallen soldiers. He agreed, and she became the first female admiral in the modern world, leading the Inong Bali, or the Widows' Navy. Her fleet of over 1,000 women patrolled the Strait of Malacca, one of the most important trade routes in the world. She was so formidable that she defeated the Dutch fleet in a major naval battle, personally killing their commander, Cornelis de Houtman, in single combat. When the Dutch and English tried to establish a foothold in her region, they had to negotiate directly with her. She was a fortress guarding her kingdom, a pirate-slaying admiral, and a diplomat who made European powers think twice before messing with the sea. Let's stay in the world of naval power, but journey north to the rugged coasts of Ireland. Here lived a woman who was the very definition of a pirate queen, Grace O'Malley, or Grain Mhowol. In the 16th century, England was trying to exert its control over Ireland, but Grace ruled the waves along the western coast. She commanded a fleet of ships and an army of 200 men, inheriting her father's shipping and trading empire and expanding it through, well, let's call it unconventional taxation on ships passing through her territory. She was a fearless leader, a skilled politician, and a mother who reportedly gave birth to her son on one of her ships and was back on deck fighting pirates the very next day. Her power became such a threat to the English crown that they captured her sons and brother. What did Grace do? She sailed to England and demanded a face-to-face meeting with Queen Elizabeth I. The two powerful women met, queen to queen, and negotiated a truce. Grace secured the release of her family and the return of her lands, a testament to her incredible nerve and political savvy. Now, let's venture to India and discover a queen who became a symbol of rebellion against the British Empire. This is Rani Lakshmibai, the Queen of Jhansi, in the 19th century. When her husband, the King of Jhansi, died without a male heir, the British tried to annex her kingdom using a policy called the Doctrine of Lapse. Lakshmibai refused. She famously declared, "I shall not surrender my Jhansi." When the Indian Rebellion of 1857 broke out, she became one of its most important leaders. Trained in martial arts, sword fighting, and horsemanship from a young age, she was a warrior in every sense. Eyewitness accounts describe her fighting on the battlefield with her young son strapped to her back. She led her troops with incredible courage and tactical skill, becoming a nightmare for the British forces. Though she ultimately fell in battle, her bravery and sacrifice inspired generations of Indian freedom fighters. Today, she is revered as a national hero in India, a queen who chose to fight and die for her people as freedom, rather than bow to an empire. Let's head back to Europe, to a time of crusades and political intrigue, and meet a queen who held power in two different countries. Eleanor of Aquitaine was one of the most powerful and wealthiest women in 12th century Europe. At just 15, she became the Duchess of Aquitaine, a territory larger and richer than that of the King of France himself. She first married the King of France, and not content to sit at home, she joined him on the Second Crusade, leading her own vassals. Their marriage was eventually annulled, but Eleanor didn't fade away. She then married Henry, Duke of Normandy, who soon became King Henry II of England. As Queen of England, she was at the center of European politics. She was a major patron of the arts, shaping the culture of courtly love. But she was no pushover. When she felt her husband was mistreating her and her sons, she supported her sons in a revolt against their own father. This led to her being imprisoned for 16 years, but even that couldn't stop her. When Henry II died, her son, Richard the Lionheart, became king and immediately freed her. While Richard was off on the Third Crusade, who ruled England in his stead? His mother, Eleanor, ruling as regent and proving she was a political force to be reckoned with well into her old age. Finally, we travel to the deserts of Syria in the 3rd century to find a queen who challenged the Roman Empire and almost broke it. Meet Zenobia, queen of the Palmyrene Empire. After her husband, the ruler of Palmyra, was assassinated, Zenobia took over as regent for her young son. But she had ambitions far beyond just being a regent. She was highly educated, spoke multiple languages, and was a brilliant military leader. She saw the Roman Empire weakened by internal strife and decided it was her moment. She led her armies and conquered Egypt, Anatolia, and the entire Levant, carving out a massive empire for herself in the East. She declared herself empress and her son emperor, directly challenging the authority of Rome. For a short time, the Roman Empire was effectively split in 3, with Zenobia ruling a third of it. It took the full military might of the Roman Emperor Aurelian to finally defeat her. Though her reign was short, Zenobia's ambition, intelligence, and military prowess allowed her to build an empire and shake the foundations of the most powerful state in the world. From warrior queens who fought empires to pirate queens who ruled the seas, these women were more than just footnotes in history. They were the main characters. They were strategists, diplomats, warriors, and rulers who wielded immense power and left an indelible mark on the world. Their stories remind us that history is full of incredible figures, and it's time we gave these powerful queens the recognition they truly deserve. Who's another powerful queen from history you think everyone should know about? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey into the past, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more hidden stories from history. See you next time.